Welcome back to Callahan's Corner. You have some questions, we answer them live right here on Facebook. Got another great user-submitted question from the Service Autopilot users group. I'm going to open up in usual fashion the screen and talk about how to customize your estimates and the way they're displayed inside Service Autopilot. A lot of tips and tricks here through the last 8 or 9 years, plus using the software in my own lawn care company and helping hundreds of businesses now with a team of over 20 people at Simple Growth to do this for the users. So in the Mindset of Abundance, I'm going to open up the screen and actually show you exactly what we're looking at here. So we will open up the screen here and get in to Service Autopilot. So one of the questions here we have is from Doreen, and she said, Mike, thanks for responding. Don't like the way the estimates are. They're not customizable. For example, I want to be able to say per occurrence for mowing, per application, or for weed and feed per season for the other services. We do a la carte services. And she goes on talking about her 38 years of experience and how she's having a hard time getting the estimate pricing within the lead email without being a totally separate quote or preset grids. So I'm going to go in and really dial in how we can do this in multiple ways. And hopefully this answers her question here, specifically how to do this in Service Autopilot. So what we're going to do is go into one of our test accounts here for Simple Growth. And I'm going to start foundationally here is I'm going to go to the gear icon estimate grids. So this is the first place, Doreen, I would look to actually do this here. So I'm going to add a grid. This is what it looks like fully fleshed out from the beginning here. But there is a lot of granularity here. So what I'm going to recommend is best practice here is going in, and for Doreen's question, I'm going to go in and actually add the estimate description, and I'm going to get rid of name and description. Reason why we're doing that is the character limit for the service is only limited to about 28 to 30 plus characters and change, depending on a QuickBooks sync or not. The estimate description, however, is wide open and allows you to have as many characters you want inside the estimate description. So I'm going to recommend for Doreen's question, that's going to give her the granularity on the service level to list out what she wants. Now, as hers is a la carte, I don't think quantity and amount, or quantity and rate, I'm sorry, would be applicable. So I'm going to try to keep this simple, stupid here. Depending on the state or way you want to show it, if you have to show sales tax on the estimate, I would probably keep this on. But for 99% of the people, Doreen, in your question, I'm going to go in and actually remove the subtotal, sales tax, and grand total. Reason being is when they select it, it's not dynamic and it's going to create sticker shock. So what we've got here is our basic area. Now, going back to Doreen's question, she would want to go in and say per occurrence, per service, per application. So the idea here is, if that's the case, instead of amount, this could be generic to an extent, but I would say this is per visit or price per visit. So you can see here, this is actually fully customizable in here. So it's hard to know that unless you click on it by mistake. But so we've got the estimate description, or in Doreen's thing, it's going to be probably service description. So we have service description, price per visit. Now she has the ability to go in and build an a la carte setup. So we would name this here. I'm going to probably just put this Facebook Live question. So we have that. So that's the first piece. I'm going to build out under the gear icon estimate grids. We're going to build out this estimate grid. So the next piece here is under the gear icon services. We're going to go back to a service, and based on Doreen's question here, I want to be able to say per occurrence for mowing or per application for weed and feed. So that's exactly what we've got here on the mowing example here that I'm going to put in. So I'm going to put a couple asterisks on here just so we can find this. So lawn mowing. And when we build this out, we're going to need a code, tax or tax, no tax, a per unit invoice description here, and a account. I'm going to say that is going to be part of our service income, and our estimate description. So this is where I would go in and start to add those details. So lawn mowing includes the mowing of the grass, the appropriate height for the season. In addition, we will direct clippings away from buildings and landscape beds. And then in addition, so you guys aren't stuck watching my brutal typing here, I would also go in and we're going to be blowing off all the hard surfaces such as sidewalk, driveways, and patios. But to get the idea here is this is the idea of what we've got. Now you could add more description, lawn mowing per visit in here as well, but we've already kind of tackled that in the estimate grid. So I think we're probably good. Hopefully, Doreen, you're going to go into rate matrices and build out a production rate based estimating system based on square footage. So you have budgeted time and cost for job costing. But I'm going to stick to the question here. So these are the main things that we would need. And what we would do then is go in and go into our job estimate templates now. And we would create a new job estimate template. And I'm going to put this to both, and then I'm going to go in and grab a document. So I'm not sure what we got in this test account, but we'll see what we have. And let's grab estimate video, see if that works. Not sure what that is, but we'll find out in a minute. But this is the idea of what we'd be doing for Doreen here. So we've got our lawn mowing here, and we've got everything built out. And then under the little paper icon, that's the estimate description that's going to be showing on the actual estimate. So we've got that in there for her. The other question that she had was around fertilization here, because she wants to say that per application for fertilization as well. So I want to go in and kind of address that as well. So the first place I'm going to be going is under the gear icon, estimate settings for that right there. And I'm going to open up the estimate settings, and the default that Doreen you're going to want here is really package item total only. So that's going to be just per visit a la carte. I'm going to recommend we do not show the subtotal on the view my proposal for yours. And we're going to hit save. So once we have that, we're going to go back into gear icon, master packages. I'm not going to build out a full package, but this really lines up to kind of Doreen's question around being able to customize this. So if you have, and it doesn't look like we have any in this demo account, we might have demo fertilization. So what we've got here is I'm going to go in and renew this package just so we can actually play with it here. And now it looks like this one's locked up here, but either way, what we've got is our rounds, our service on the service level, our start and end date range here. And once we have that all together, we can go in, and we wouldn't want default budget hours to default rate. Now you do want to recommend or realize the pecking order, the hierarchy here is the service level is then overridden by the package level, and then the template. So those are the order of, as you're updating your estimate descriptions for the question you want to be aware of. But basically, once you have this here, you've got your package set up, and then we would go back into our template and go and add an item and add a package. So we would have our fertilization package here, and that is our rounds with the price, budget, time, and cost, labor, overhead, and materials if we're building that out. And then we would have our estimating area here. So early spring application. So that is what's going to be on the service. So it's a la carte for just the package, not per round. So that's how I would tackle that. We're going to hit save and close, and we're going to go in and add a new lead and see if we can kind of see what this looks like for Doreen's question here. So we're going to fill in the information here. First name, last name, address, email. That pulls over to billing address. So once we've got that in there, we want to make sure we fill out the detail and sales page. But for this question, we're going to go hit save. We're going to continue it. We want to go into the more under Maps Pro, hopefully measure that out on the satellite imagery, or if you're using a simple estimate, that will automatically do that through AI. Once we have that, that's going to load in. I'm not sure if we have a pricing matrices built behind these services, so I'm going to skip that step and just go right to the estimate. But what we're going to do is now grab that template that we just built for Doreen, and that is going to be our Facebook Live. So our mowing would fill in. Let's assume we had a matrices on here, so it's $65, and maybe it's a half hour, and it's costing us $41. That information would fill in automatically, and let's just say we got 8,000 square feet. We've got a matrices for $59, 0.55 man hours, and $34 overhead recovery product. Once again, we've got the paper icon out here. That is what's going to be displayed on the estimate, because we've taken our estimate grid and showed estimate description, not job or service. So we're going to mark these both to quote. Scroll down, hit save. Full transparency, I'm not sure the template we grabbed, but let's see what it looks like on the preview. And we'll give that a second. If not, I can pull it up in my email, but this may just be easier to take a look at it. So right now it looks like, so this actually is interesting. We're in a test account. So if you run into this issue here, we've got an estimate bundle or grid. There's a grid issue. So if that ever happens, what you want to do is actually go into Service Autopilot, and we want to go into the gear icon and go to our documents and pull in that new grid. And that's actually a step I missed, so that's not a bad fact, or not a bad thing that we saw this. So let's see, type is going to be estimate. And let's take a look to see what template I selected. So it's our simple growth estimate with video. All right, there it is. We're going to go in it. We are going to replace the broken grid with the new grid we've made under the gear icon, and hopefully it'll populate for Doreen's question. So if you're doing this for the first time, don't worry. This is normal, even doing it as an expert here for over 9 years. So what we've got is our Facebook Live question. That is our grid that we made, and it was under the gear icon. We have the ability to do installments here, but in this example, I'm going to get rid of the installment pricing because Doreen's doing it a la carte. So we've got all the information in here. I'm going to save and close and refresh the estimate on the client level here and pull up our updates. And hopefully this will do what we need for Doreen's question here. So I'm going to hit reload. Actually, to be safe, I'm going to actually just create a new estimate to pull this template in. All right, we're looking for the one with the video that we've been updating. There it is, Facebook Live. All right, let's put some prices in here. Hit save. And we'll pull this back up to see if this answers Doreen's question here in the preview. And I can also send an email so we can take a look at it. But let's take a look at it to make sure this scratched the itch of being able to customize the estimate document to show a la carte with some other customization. So yeah, this is a perfect example here. Hopefully, Doreen, this is what you're looking for. So basically, you've got your lawn mowing, includes the mowing of the grass, the appropriate height of the season. In addition, we direct the clippings away from buildings, landscape beds. Price per visit is $65. And then our fertilization package here describes all the steps, but it's got the price a la carte per visit. So what I'm going to do is go in and email this out so we can actually see the live version of this. So this pops up a pre-templated email. This is plain Jane, but basically we would hit send. And it looks like Dylan in our test account's been using this for the home cleaning demo, but we'll use this for our lawn care demo as well, how to customize that. But just as a quick review, we went into the gear icon, changed the estimate grid, set the estimate description, overrode the headers, dropped it into 2 separate columns, went in, set up the services with the estimate description that's now going to display on the estimate, not the service line item. And we pulled in a package. So that should bring everything together here. And we're going to dive in my email and see what the final copy looks like. So we're going to click into that. Now we're going into view my proposal. Obviously, we need to clean this up. This is just a test account, but we got our lawn mowing, service description, price per visit, $65, fertilization package, price per visit. So Dorian, hopefully that answers your question, how to customize and make Service Autopilot's estimate grids and templates a little more user-friendly. In addition, I really recommend dropping some videos that play right in here in the estimate, so we can explain what those lawn care services such as lawn mowing, fertilizing include, don't include, overcome the sales and price objections, and frame yourself as the industry expert in your local market to be able to charge a higher price in your market. So comments, questions, drop below. If you like it, give it a share. Callahan's Corner, you ask questions, we answer them live right here on Facebook.